Hey you guys, I've hoarded up a bunch of these Holy Forge materials, the Vulcan stoves that you can largely get free from the atoll bosses, but I've also gathered up some from cacher type things, and as well as Vulcan's hammer. Again, some cacher stuff. There was one time, I think at the very beginning when they started having the Holy Forge stuff, that you were able to exchange for hammer, so I didn't really cache a ton of boxes there, but the stuff that I did have, I traded for hammers, and then I've also gotten a bunch from Crossover GB. I already had the mount that's available in Crossover GB, so I was able to put all of that stuff into hammers already, and upcoming are the finals, so I'll get even more. Um, Here my ratio is not it's you need 15 stoves and 5 hammers for each Holy Forge attempt, and so actually here my ratio, I still have more hammers needed than stoves, but I think I've collected enough stoves at this point that I can at least show a good chunk of this. I just switched out this trinket for the one with the other passive, crit damage received reduced, which is a much worse passive, and right now the ignore MDef passives do stack. I'm just switching over to this other trinket just because eventually I know that they will get rid of the ability to stack these two passives, and this trinket was actually pretty easy for me to make. It was mostly materials that I already had. Except for maybe the 70 stones. I might have gotten rid of those eventually. But yeah, plenty of materials, and so that was pretty easy. It did cost me a bunch to enchant it again, but this guy, if I need more gold today, I can sell this, and it's worth 63 million gold or something like that. But I did save up a bunch of gold for this video, just so that I could show a whole bunch of Holy Forge at the same time. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna show the armor first, just because the weapon I did when the Holy Forge came out, I did do a bunch on the weapons. You can see here it says at the top, Holy Cast level 1, grade 5, and so that and where it says under the enchantments, it says plus 4,117. That's from the enchantment bonus. Oh no, sorry, that's what is on the gear, and then the enchantment is plus 2,959, and the Holy Forge that I already have on there gives me a little over 1,100. Whereas on my robe, you won't see any Holy Cast. It's level 0, grade 0, and so yeah. Um, so here it'll start out with a success rate of 50% to get to this first star, and then the success rate will go down, and and then it gets quite expensive if you're not very lucky. So here it is luck based. It's a little frustrating that way, but so here if the blessing meter adds up, then my success rate will go up. It does not, once you hit 100 on the blessing, it does not it doesn't complete the blessing for you. It just increases your chance of success. So this is so luck based. That's why I want to do maybe one on the armor or one on each piece of the gear, and then try to do more of the weapon. Just because I want to be able to show you guys a successful Holy Forge, and there's a very good chance that at a 5% success rate, I can be here for a while with this weapon. So yeah, let's do this. Do one forge. Forging failed, +5, so this is going to add up as long as I fail. Fail. Okay, success. Okay, so I have, okay, I guess I have a blank star now. And then I think this needs to add up to 5 stars, and then my success rate goes back up. So, well, actually, at a 40% success rate, I'd rather do this armor rather than, say, the hat, which will give a nice chunk of, let's see here, I'll give 135 for each of these, so really the armor is much more worth it. Let's see, the staff will give 534 HP. The weapon gives, let's see here, 231 attack. Each of the trinkets will give 138, and each of the rings will give 309. So the jewelry is definitely not a priority as far as the rings go. If you value attack, which I do, more than say like armor or HP, then maybe we'll do the trinkets a bit at the higher success rates. before doing the weapon. But this success rate will go back up to 50% if I do enough of it, from what I understand. So yeah, so let's try and do a little bit more. Oh, that one was good. So 20% rate. Let's see how much of this I can do. Ooh, lots of fails. Yeah, this is all luck based. Trying to think if I want to save more stoves. Okay, we'll just try for it. Okay, so successful eventually. Um, so yeah, so I need all of these stars to fill out. I think the weapon I have at 2 stars and oh, I see how it works. It's like one outline star and then a full star. And so the next one will be, yeah, I get it. Okay, so I have 605 stoves left. Let's see if I can get one more on the weapon. And I do. Okay, so blank star. I mean, you would hope with a 5% success rate that I would hopefully get one within 20 tries. But definitely a high chance that that's not going to be the case. Okay, beautiful. Actually getting pretty lucky from what I can tell. Um, so this will go up to 5 stars, Holy Forge level 1. And the success rate still isn't going back up, even though I know it should eventually. Okay, perfect. Oh, sorry, I missed that last one. But so yeah, so my success rate's at 40% now, and the previous one it went back to 50%. So there is a point once this fills up to like 5 stars, and then you go to the next one, and your rate will go back up. So maybe, I mean, at least for the weapon, it seems worth it to push through and try to get a bunch. Um, let's see here. So yeah, I want to continue with the weapon actually because the rate is pretty good right now. Come on. Already. And just maybe for the sake of illustration, do a trinket. Um, is this it? Oh, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter which one I do. Let's do that trinket, do this trinket, and let's see here. Maybe do the hat once. I'm running out of these stoves. It takes 15 each time. So, yeah. Do the brooch once, even though HP doesn't really matter. This is maybe the last one I'm interested in, and I'll skip the rings. So maybe I'll just leave it at that. You know, I only have 2 more that I could do here anyway. So we can take a quick peek. I did get a nice increase with that. So I have, oopsies. Okay, that's maybe not what I wanted. Got it. Calculator. So minus 3, 4. 6972. So I just gained a little over 5,000 BR from those upgrades. I mean, that was a lot of stoves, so maybe the daily increase isn't going to be like that. Maybe I'll save up a bunch of stoves just so I can feel good, and each time that I do the Holy Forge, I can get lots of BR. I'm not totally sure about that, but yeah, that's a Holy Forge. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a lot of work gathering up those materials. You know, the place where all the free stoves basically are is from cross server GB, and then not the free stoves, the free hammers are from cross server GB, and then the stoves are from a toll boss. So if you can't make those, it's really tough. I would say that if you, you know, depending on your time zones and how they work with your server time zone, definitely go in the off hours and just try to get any decent team. And from what I can tell, the atoll bosses, it's about 2% of the atoll boss equates to 1 stove. So if you get something like 10% of, if you only get like 10% of the atoll boss, you're only going to get about 5 stoves. If I'm wrong about that, let me know if you have a counter example. But from what I can tell, at least on my server, that's how it's been working out. So when we get days where it's just completely empty and we get something like 60% of the boss at a really off hour, then we can get upwards of 30 stoves. But that's pretty rare. We just had one on my server, and it was a very busy hour, and we only got about 7 or 8 of them. So yeah, so I think that's about how it works, and so I hope you guys Hope this is a nice video to be able to show how it works. Be careful with those rates. I do think that if you have a ton of stoves, it might be worth it to push through and try and get your weapon back up to the higher rates. So try and do an entire grade or entire level. I guess it's Holy Cast level 2, grade 4. So with each new level, the rate goes back up to 50%. But with each grade, the success rate goes down. so, um, so yeah, so if you can get to a new level, that'll be really good, and you can get a lot of cheap upgrades. Um, and so yeah, I'm really focusing on trying to get a bunch of upgrades on my weapon, and then I'll probably go to the armor and helm, and then actually that's a lie. Probably weapon, armor, trinkets, helm, and then deal with all these HP items. Okay, well, that's Holy Forge. Thanks a bunch, you guys. Take care and have a very good day.